Today, there was another line in front of the Immigration and Nationality Department in Belmopan as yet another batch of new Belizeans were sworn in. The crowd was not as huge as the one last Friday, but it still numbered well over 100, as mainly Central American immigrants waited their turn. Some sat and waited in the scorching sun, while others rushed to the nearest available entry to get processed. Immigration Director Ruth Main told reporters that if any one of her officers is caught in illegality, they will be dealt with.
As we do go through due diligence in terms of the processing of the files. At Elections and Boundaries Department around this time, same process where the political party in power is the party that takes people in to get them registered. And I am thinking that this is the first time at the Immigration Department that is the same thing that is happening. So they're here, they bring in their application. Once the people meet the full requirement, they're processed. There isn't anything sinister going on in this department as far as I am concerned. And I have said to all the people who are asking us to process the application, you bring it, but make sure that you bring everything that we need you to bring. If you don't have anything, all the things that we ask for, they will not be processed.
Okay, so if any of your officers are found to be accepting bribes, let's just say, what's the penalty, what's the process?
That process is similar to all the other disciplinary process that goes on in the Ministry of in the public service itself, where if an officer is found to do anything illegal, recommendation is made to the relevant authority for that officer to be disciplined.
Okay, there was a meeting here last night. Your staff, I assume it was your staff, were working late. What was happening here?
Processing of application for nationality.
Is it out of the norm, though, to have staff, your members of staff working? Under what arrangement is that?
Arrangement.
Are they paid overtime?
Normally, if immigration officers work beyond their 8 hours a day, they're paid overtime.
We saw Minister of Information and Broadcasting and the UDP's Standard Bearer for Kaya Northeast, Elvin Penner, helping some of the people in his division. And we spoke with him shortly after. You've heard the allegations that all kinds of hanky-panky is going on, illegal registration and naturalization. What do you have to say to that?
Well, I am sure that from my area there is none that is going to go through without the complete proper procedure. We have taken out the police records for each and every person that qualified. I have about 100 and some applications home that I personally felt didn't qualify. I didn't even bring them. I'm going to deal with them later once they can assure me that they qualify. Then I'll bring them in after the election. Friday is the deadline for registration for the town board elections, as you all know. So we have to make sure that we get all those who can register for the town board in by Friday. So that's going to be another rush on Friday to get everybody in on time. We have been doing a lot of registrations recently from young boys and girls that have never registered before, because we can't transfer either, because transfer period is only in July and August.
Penner said that he is also paying half of the fees to process his constituents.
I am telling them that now as well. I will pay half of the cost of the nationality. Of course, we do the police record and everything on our own, so there is a cost to it, but it's of course twofold. Again, it's a political reason behind it. We want to get our voters in. I won't deny that any at all. I am right now digging myself into a hole, but I'm sure there'll be some good Samaritan out there later on who will help me out.
Because if you're paying half for 100, that's $15,000.
And that's about what we have already spent in all the paperwork.
And while some sectors have alleged that the new Belizeans are being processed with just a receipt for a blood test and they're not being required to produce a medical certificate, Health Minister Pablo Marin had this to say.
Remember, for you to get a nationality, you have to get your PR first, your permanent residence. Have to. The only other way that you can get your nationality is by descent. If your parents born here or you marry a Belizean. Once you have your permanent residence, that means you have already taken your AIDS test and everything else. So that is already set. And then we are doing all the tests. But further than that, just for clarity, if you are from Guatemala, whatever, and you married a Belizean, anyway, if you take the test or you not take the test, you are still will become a Belizean because you are married a Belizean. Everybody has to go through the medical test that is needed for them to get their nationality. I can confirm that.
Reporting for Love News, I am Marian Ali.